Welcome to Highly Questionable. I'm Izzy Gutierrez. If we look a little happy, it's because Dan took the day off. That over there is Mina Kimes. Mina, what do you like on the show?
Looking forward to talking about playoff hockey.
Nope, not going to happen. Poppy, let's do it.
Kind of.
Was last night about the Celtics playing great defense or LeBron looking like a tired old man?
A tired old man. Are you letting him write the questions? He didn't look old, but he certainly looked tired, which is not entirely surprising given that he played every game in the regular season and has played 649 minutes in the playoffs, 20 more than any other player, which is a problem for Cleveland because LeBron James is Cleveland. They need him to score all the points, rack up all the assists, set the tone on defense. And even if he does all of those things, because the Celtics defense has figured out that they shouldn't overcommit to LeBron, that he can go off like he did in Game 2, and they can still win, if nobody else helps out, they still might not come away with it.
I'm pretty sure Steph Curry fans are happy here because finally somebody else of his caliber is getting built-in physical excuses as to why he's not performing well. Of course LeBron James is tired. As you mentioned, Mina, he's played all the minutes. He should be tired. He's played 15 seasons of this. He played 82 games this year. But really, it doesn't matter that LeBron was tired. LeBron's been tired all year long. He's found ways to pick it up when necessary and at other times literally stand still to watch his teammates. The problem with the Celtics is he can't do that on defense. They're more balanced, they're younger, they're energetic, and he's got to defend. And so sometimes offensively he's going to look a little fatigued. Even sometimes defensively he's going to look a little fatigued. But this comes down to the same thing regardless. LeBron James needs help. He can stand there and watch for a minute or two if his teammates are providing him with anything. But other than him last night, the rest of his teammates shot 38%. That's not going to get it done on the road. That might not even get it done at home. So again, it's LeBron James looking tired because he has to do everything.
And yet they're still favored at home because nobody expects the Celtics to go to Cleveland and to win because everybody knows this is going to go to Game 7. And I pray to the basketball gods, please bless us with a close game because this series has been horrible.
I think you are going to get a Game 7, and I think, Poppy, as much as you're afraid about this, I think LeBron's going to come out on top. He knows he only has to win one of those games in Boston. So maybe he was allowing his fatigue to show through because he said, you know what, saving that energy for a Game 7, I'll take it when they're most nervous.
Are you guys excited about tomorrow's game?
Of course.
Well, it's going to be LeBron's last game in Cleveland.
Oh, man, that
So
is
you better
really...
enjoy it. You better enjoy it while you can.
Those fans in Cleveland are going to be so nervous. I don't think they're going to be able to clap during that game.
Who is all the pressure on tonight, the Warriors or the Rockets?
You can go small picture, you can go big picture here. The Rockets went into Golden State and won a Game 4. Now, all of a sudden, best of 3, they have the home court advantage. You can go small picture and say, you know what, Steph needs a big game. KD needs to redeem himself for not taking that final shot and instead passing it to Klay Thompson. But really, I think in terms of individuals, Klay Thompson needs to have a game. This is a team that's supposedly one of the best ever because they have 4 all-time greats, 4 potential Hall of Famers. Klay Thompson has not done enough to do his part and support his other teammates. Now, in the bigger picture, all of the pressure is on the Warriors. They are the dynasty in progress. They are, again, one of the greatest teams ever. Houston was built to try to compete with them. And if you go back to the beginning of the season, nobody really thought they were truly on the same level. So it's on the Warriors to win this series, win this championship, because if they don't, that's 2 out of 3 years where they've been highly disappointing in the postseason, and that reputation is going to stick with them.
And Houston will be fine next year when they get LeBron, of course. But as far as tonight goes, I actually think there's more pressure on the Rockets to win this game because this series right now is a battle of death. Like LeBron, many of the stars on both teams are clearly gas. Mike D'Antoni in the last game hit the panic button as he often used to do. Phoenix rolled out a shortened rotation, which means James Harden is probably going to be pretty tired for the rest of the series. Meanwhile, the Warriors also tired. But unlike the Rockets, they've got reinforcements coming in. They get Iguodala back either tonight or going forward, and I think that's going to give them the edge for the rest of the series.
It can be pretty disconcerting when you consider that it's the Warriors' offense that's been missing. Like, that Houston team is not supposed to be great at defense. They're better. They have individual players who are good. They're not supposed to be able to shut down the Warriors, especially for a 12-point fourth quarter at home. That has to be sort of staying with the with the Warriors as they go into this Game 5.
Ring, ring, ring. Yeah, hello? Oh, Steve Kerr.
Wow.
What's up, buddy? Oh, you think that the Warriors fan, they should relax, huh? Yeah? Oh, because the Rockets, they got Mike D'Antoni and CP3 and they never win anything? All right, I let them know. Oh, you don't want me? You want to keep this confidential? Just between you and me? All right. See between Mike D'Antonio. All right, okay, fine.
I'll talk to you later, Steve.
Do you expect other teams to follow the Jets and support their players if they kneel during the anthem?
So Jets CEO Christopher Johnson, not to be confused with his brother Woody Johnson, who stepped away to be the ambassador to Great Britain, came out yesterday and said that if any of his players violate the new rules, if they kneel on the field during the anthem, he'll absorb the fines. NFL Network's Jim Trotter also reported yesterday that 8 to 10 owners also disagree with the policy. All of which means they're clearly divided on the issue. And because the NFL punted to the owners to actually enforce this, we have no idea what's going to happen this fall. We don't know which of the owners are going to choose to punish their players. We don't know what they're going to punish them for. We don't know what they can do. We don't know if they can raise their fists during the anthem or go to the bathroom, much like many of the fans who criticize players for disrespecting the flag. The NFL chose the most chaotic, unpredictable path possible, which means we're going to keep talking about it all fall, which is probably not what they wanted.
Yeah, what do I expect? I expect this to be even more of a mess. I expect that the NFL handled this improperly, not only by making this judgment without the union involved, but really also by using language like respecting the flag when that was never really what the protest was about. And it brings up these questions that Mina says, well, what is respectful? What can and can't these players do? And in the end, are we really looking at it the way it's supposed to be, which is the NFL censoring its players? And so what I expect to happen is, again, more of a mess, but I expect specific owners and teams to deal with this individually, whether it be coaches who are put in terrible positions because maybe they're liberal leaning and maybe they have great relationships with their players, but they have to abide by these NFL rules, or the owners telling them to do something different. It just puts so many teams and so many individuals in precarious positions, and the NFL probably did not think that through. And again, every single team is probably going to deal with it slightly different.
Are you impressed how the Bucks and the NBA responded to footage of Sterling Brown being tased?
Well, Sterling Brown is a Bucks rookie, and there was video released yesterday of the Milwaukee police using a stun gun on him unnecessarily, and the Milwaukee Bucks then released a statement which seemed to cover a lot of good things and was received very well. Talked about the incident itself and the importance of it. Talked about the Milwaukee history, the police department, and their history of issues with it, and it just seemed like a league that knew how to respond to these types of incidents. When you compare that to the NFL, for example, which is dealing with its kneeling controversy, you had a huge game yesterday, the day this video was released, of an NBA player being mistreated by police. And yet in that Cavs-Celtics game, there was no protest, there was no kneeling. It's because of the way the NBA and the players have a great relationship. They seem to respect each other. The NBA has a policy for standing during the anthem, standing in line and in unison, and yet there aren't these similar issues. It's because letters like this or responses like this give players the trust that their ownership is on their side.
Yeah, I think it's actually worth reading statement because it's so good. The Bucks said, it shouldn't require an incident involving a professional athlete to draw attention to the fact that vulnerable people in our communities have experienced similar and even worse treatment. As Izzy just said, that's why it's not a bigger deal that the NBA has a policy that the players stand, because they trust the league to enable them to speak out about issues, because they actually believe that the league cares about them as human beings and cares about their perspectives on issues that affect them and people who look like them. Meanwhile, in the NFL, they're rolling out policies without even inviting players to the table. You'd think they'd take a page from the NBA if they wanted to stem controversy going forward.
Meanwhile, NBA players should be able to use their leverage even more so than NFL players. They have great star power. They have guaranteed contracts that the NFL players don't have, and yet the NBA does not use that power, at least not currently, as leverage against the league in these situations. Again, speaks to the relationship.
Should Melo have been offended by this Instagram post?
Yes, if you haven't noticed, Carmelo Anthony is no longer in the playoffs. However, he is finding a way to keep himself in the news cycle by responding to an Instagram post by all.nba.riddles. Here's what it said. It compared him to Kyle Korver, saying 15 years down the line, Kyle Korver would be a better NBA player than Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo, of course, had to respond with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wows, all caps, saying had to comment on this. FOH, you guys can figure out what that means. Here's the thing. The fact that Carmelo Anthony is currently being compared to a career role player maybe that's a sign that your career is coming to an end. Or maybe the sign that you are responding to said comment on Instagram is a sign that your career is coming to an end. You're that thin-skinned. You looked terrible when you laughed off the idea of going to the bench before the season started and then sat on the bench, sadly, when the season ended. Carmelo, there's no need to respond to things like that. Your career has been great. Come on.
So the debate on NBA Twitter this morning about last night was whether the Cavs made a mistake by not playing Kyle Korver more because of the matchups. Because Kyle Korver has been very good in the playoffs, unlike Carmelo Anthony. Kyle Korver has shot 46% from three. Carmelo Anthony, 21%. He was basically unplayable. So the question, should he have been offended by this Instagram? Obviously, the answer is no. Also, it's Instagram. The only thing you should be offended by is when your cousin posts 10 pictures of their baby in one day. Give it a rest, Carmelo.
Go ahead and put Russell Westbrook in a room. Put his right hand on a Bible. Ask him if he'd rather have Carmelo Anthony or Kyle Korver this year. See which one you think is going to answer.
Well, at least Melo uses his own account. I mean,
That's
you can also do the same
true.
thing about Kevin
Yes,
Durant.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Actually,
KD would have had 7 different people commenting on that, defending him. You're right.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
And stuck. And there's the ball. I love how the outfielders are trained to put their hands up and they said, there's nothing I can do about that. That is what it looks like. Whoa. Really tired or really good strategy? Is that LeBron?
I think we figured out where Dan went.
Oh, no, that's not Dan.
My son's TV show is brought to you by Corona Extra. Find your beach. Time to play the game that is having the best day ever. LeBron is done and Dan is gone. Hooray! Do you question?
You give us topics and events, we question them.
LeBron might not be gone.
Do you question if my credibility in Tampa is ruined? I have had this one a little bit off, you know. Maybe I made a mistake in this one here. Maybe,
Just a little bit. You've been calling the Caps chokers forever. And Alex Ovechkin and the Capitals made the Stanley Cup final last night. They won in Tampa 4-0. What happened outside of the Amalie Arena before the game? Well, it was this.
So my whole life as a little girl, I dreamed of having my picture on the side of a stadium. And now it's this, next to an old man simulating choking. This is where I've come.
How did you envision your picture being on the side of the stadium?
Not like this. Poppy, would you like to apologize to the people of Washington?
Yes, I have to apologize to the people of Washington. But that wasn't the only one.
Oh, Mina. Busted.
Where did you find this?
That's worse. That's a subtweet. That's such a... Oh, man, Mina.
He picks things wrong all the time.
Would you like
And
to
you blog
apologize to the people of Washington, D.C., Mina?
No, because I never simulated choking.
Good call.
Do you question if Brian Dozier deserves a ground rule double for this?
Baseball's funny this way. Unwritten rules, ground rules. Well, this was Tigers, Twins, and this is Brian Dozier getting a ground rule double in a situation where maybe he could have gotten another couple of bases. And stuck. And there's the ball. I love how the outfielders are trained to put their hands up and they said, there's nothing I can do about that. That's a ground rule double when all he has to do is reach for the ball. He might even get him out at second base in that situation.
Can the wall get a whip? It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but that ball never touched the ground. He should be out, you know. That's right. He hit right the defense and the wall. You grab the ball, out. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
That's right.
Brian Dozier, you got too many bases on that one.
The musical. Do you question whether this was intentional?
We're going to dive deep into the World Cup Under 18 of baseball. Here's some video of that. Oh! That's the kind of bat flips that catchers really don't want.
I love these videos because you're just waiting for something to happen. You don't know where it's going to come from, so you're just on high alert the whole time. I did not see that coming.
That is something you can practice, though. Can we see that again? It looks like it's a very unnatural bat flip. It's right hand across the back of his body to the left side. Maybe it's going to hit the catcher in the face. Oh, yeah, it hit the catcher in the face, and I get to first base.
So in other words, it was definitely intentional.
Definitely intentional. No way to verify that.
You did that on purpose.
Are you kidding me? I think he flopped.
The catcher who had the bat?
Big flopper.
Look at this. Let's see if he flopped there. Let's see if he had the wherewithal to know if I get hit with a bat in the face, I'm just going to dive.
How is that a flop?
By the way, he still had his mask on when he got hit in the face, Bobby. It was the hit by the bat that took the mask off of his face.
He sold it to the amp. The amp got full.
He got hit by a bat.
Do you question this goalie's strategy?
I'm just going to repeat what was said in my ear. We go to what looks like a youth hockey practice. That is what it looks like. Whoa. Really tired or really good strategy? Is that LeBron?
I think we figured out where Dan went.
Oh, no, that's not Dan. I mean, he is stopping those pucks, though.
Boy, I never saw that in goalie, you know. But if Dan played like that, you know, goalie, nobody could score on him, you know what I mean?
I know that that's true. But there's a reason why he goes away for days at a time. You keep insulting him like that.
Sorry, Dan.
Highly questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that has so much room to do activities. See? Or no?
Yeah, maybe you can do a little dance if you want. You tell us what to watch on TV. We tell you if we're intrigued.
Streaming on Facebook, the end of Angels Blue Jays.
I will not watch any baseball game streaming on Facebook. I would, however, watch Shohei Ohtani in batting practice. Here he was in Toronto doing that and sending balls to the moon. He should be in the home run hitting contest, shouldn't he? He says he's not ready for that, but come on, look at that. Man, remember before when we were talking about him being the Babe Ruth of Japanese players and we were like, that's a little bit too much pressure? No, that's about right. Mina, are you intrigued?
Let me explain to you the experience of being a Mariners fan watching Shohei Ohtani. It's like falling in love with someone, proposing to them, being publicly rejected, having them meet someone else, and then watching their love story play out in real time every day for the rest of your life. No, I will not be watching Shohei Ohtani.
You're already married. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Shohei, hey, you're doing great in California, buddy. That's the best move you ever made in your life. You know, you left Seattle, so you didn't have to live there in that dump. You know what I mean? Now you're cooking there in California. Nice weather, nice view, nice everything. You know, congratulations. That was a hell of a move.
Taking shots at Mina.
Yeah.
Really?
Johnny.
All right, break it up, you two. Break it up.
On TV in England, at the races.
Mina, I don't know what your most difficult assignment is, but this woman had a very difficult one out here in England at this racetrack. This is a reporter you're about to see right there. Bring down the horse.
Wow.
Look at that form. Look at that confidence, that courage. That horse had no idea what was coming. That's a charge. Man, that is, again, Mina, I don't know what your most difficult assignment was, but I guarantee you it does not compare to that. Are you intrigued?
Yeah, I'm extremely intrigued. Do you see how fluid her hips were, her back pedal? This is like the NFL fix I'm getting right now.
That I would watch. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But listen, I mean, I'm telling you one thing, you know, I mean, that reporter did a good job. But to impress me, she got to climb on the horse, and she has to ride around that horse.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way you do it, you know. You grab the horse, you stop the horse, you jump on the horse, and you run around the track on that horse. You ride around the track on that. That's the way you do it if you
She's
really
a
want to
reporter
impress
for
me.
Cirque du Soleil, apparently. She can do all these things.
On Fox, Terrence Howard's Fright Club.
This is a new reality show. Terrence Howard's involved. It seems intriguing. However, I didn't think we were supposed to talk about Fright Club.
We have invited some of my biggest